Racers, stay outside. You got gas ready, bring line. Be on bubble, no target, drive it. Keep it down on you, close your brakes, go to the bed, ice is blue. I mean, you need to keep up on it for the rest of the exit, but you'll stand.
Welcome racers. For your safety, please listen to the following rules. The gas pedal is on the right and the brake pedal is on the left. The seatbelt must be worn and adjusted tightly. You must keep both hands on the steering wheel at all times. Please secure all loose clothing. Long hair must be pulled back into a ponytail and tucked into the back of your shirt. If your car should stop, remain seated and raise your hands. During the race, the car ahead has the right of way, and the car behind should avoid contact with slower or stopped traffic. There will be absolutely no bumping, swerving, or hitting the rail. At the end of the race, the red light will indicate that the ride is over. Please slow down and enter the loading area with caution. Remain seated until directed to exit by the attendant. Reckless driving or breaking the rules will not be allowed, and anyone doing so will be asked to leave the track without a refund. Remember, racers, this is a driver-controlled ride, and you are riding at your own risk. Drive safely and have a great race. Thank you.
remain seated until directed to exit. Please 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 remain seated until directed to exit.